Good afternoon, everyone. So today I thought I'd just do a little update on calving. So we've just given the colostrums a little bit more grass. So yeah, not too much to say here apart from had a few cows with mastitis, which is not too bad. It's normal. We're not we don't have a huge amount of mastitis. It's just at the moment we've got a few. I think we've got 6 cows all up that are on treatment at the moment. So yeah, but that's all going to the calves, so it's not getting wasted. Yeah, so we're going to head up and have a look at the springers, have a look at them, and we'll see what else we can get up to. Alright, so sow count's been a little bit high lately. So going back to the 3rd of August, it was 151, then 125, 138, 208, 234, and then I stripped the herd and found one, and then I found another one yesterday, so I found 2. So yesterday's pickup, or the day before, was 150, and then so it should be lower than that now. We've got milk to go tonight, so I would imagine that will test lower, so that's good. Sow count's coming back down. Yeah, it happens. And I just had a count up, and we've treated 10 cows for mastitis, so that's not real bad. That's pretty normal. We normally treat around 5% of our herd a season. Be good to get that a little bit lower. Alright, so I'm in the Springer paddock. So this is all we have left to calve now. So we got there are 73 here, and we've got 10 at the runoff. So the ones at the runoff will stay there for a bit longer. But today I put in the heifers. We put the heifers into this mob, so now we've just got one mob, which is great. So yesterday was 3 weeks of calving, and we do 3 weeks of mating, so artificial insemination, AB. So that was yesterday. So yesterday we had 3 heifers left out of 40. We had 44 heifers all up, and we had 4 empties, I think. So we got roughly 40 heifers in the herd, so we got 3 of them left to calve, so that's pretty good. So pretty much all of them got in calf in the first 3 weeks, first cycle, so the bulls would have been busy. But yeah, it's slowed down a bit at the moment with calving, just because we're on that period where we're going from AB to the bulls. So yeah, we had 4 today, 2 yesterday, day before was 3, so still coming in, it's just a bit quieter and slower than normal. So they're in very good condition. I'm very happy. I don't see any calves in here at the moment, so it probably will be a quiet day tomorrow. I've had a problem with these cows getting out because there's someone in here that's pushing standards over. I've got some hot pegs, I'll put them up, but I'm just going to stand this standard back up. Yeah, you can see down here you got a hot peg, so it's straight, and then all the other ones are leaning over. So it's the hot pegs that are keeping this fence upright at the moment. So one of these cows likes putting their shoulder on that and pushing it over. But they're all got full bellies, you can tell. They're getting 6 bales of hay, little conventional bales at the moment. So yeah, so I'm not sure what our 3-week in calf rate is. I haven't worked it out, but it's pretty good, I think. Who's this? Number 4. Alright, so we're going to go and measure the gibberellic test paddock. You're probably getting bored of it, but we're going to go and see what it is. I should have measured it yesterday, I'm a day late. we were working up on the cabin. We call it the dock hut. We were working on that yesterday afternoon, so it's actually ready for roof and walls to go on now. And we've been doing retaining the wall, or the bank behind it, doing a bit of work on that. So yeah. I think we got like 126 carved or something like that. I lose track all the time. Alright, so I've just measured the gibberellic acid side, and it's come back at 2,236. Last time it measured 2,096. So it's grown another 200, not quite 200 kgs a hectare. So we're just going to work out what it's grown over the last 4 weeks. Alright, so I just worked out what it's been growing for the last 29 days. So it's average 2.8, sorry, 28.9 kgs, so really 29 kgs a day now it's average. So there's definitely been times where it's been growing a little bit faster and slower over the last 4 weeks. So right now I'm just going to measure the other side. Yeah, in a minute. Alright, so I just plate metered the side that hasn't had gibberellic acid, and it's come back at 1,704. Last week when I plate metered it was 1,718. So it hasn't grown a lot this past week. So that's probably about right because we've had frost. So I think the average, last week's average was around 15 kgs, so I would imagine that it's probably dropped back a little bit, probably more to 12. I can quickly work it out and see. Right, so it's actually dropped back to 10 kgs a day for the last 29 days, so it's probably about right. I think it is right. So the gibberellic acid's really grown double what would normally be grown. It's hard to see the difference when you look from side to side, but what it is in between all the urine patches there's a lot more grass on this side versus what's been growing on this other side. So yeah, food for thought. Right, we'll carry on. Right, so I just had a question from Tim from the US about asking what do we use a plate meter for here on farm. I don't use a plate meter a huge amount. I mainly use it just to get a bit of an eye or a bit of a gauge on what the cows are eating. So I use it to, what I'll do is I'll plate meter before and plate meter after, and you can work out how much they're eating. It's only a gauge, it's not going to be exact because depending on the time of the year the grass has different qualities. So yeah, I just use it as a gauge. I don't really do farm walks. I haven't done a farm walk on this farm. I've done a farm walk on our last job when we first started share milking, probably when I was young and enthusiastic. But yeah, really I just use it for, obviously for this test I'm using it, but just to get a gauge on what the cows are eating, on how much they're getting. So yeah, that's what we use the plate meter for. Okay, you use it. Yep, you got to walk. You need a bit of practice, Anders. So you want to try and keep it flat. If the plate meter rolls over, you're going to get an inaccurate reading. Alright, bring it back. Right, so I was just deciding whether I'm going to give the milkers some more grass. We've got a little bit left at the back of this paddock. So another way of gauging on how much they're getting fed is what they're leaving behind. So I gave them, they had about a third of this paddock the day before, well yesterday, and then they've had another, I gave them a bit more because obviously the herd's getting a bit bigger, but you can see they've eaten it down already pretty good. so I wouldn't want to graze it much more lower than this with the milking cows. So I'm actually going to give them this back piece, and yeah, they'll be happy, so we'll let them on. Alright, so I had another question that I can answer easier by talking about it than writing it. Paul and Helena from down south asked what sort of nozzle I use on my spray unit. So it's a boom jet made by T-Jet, and it does 12 meters, so obviously 6 each side. So I've had this on here since I've had the unit, so we've had the unit for maybe 8 years, and it's been really good. It beats having to fold out the boom. You just drive through the gate and turn it on, where you go. Yeah, so that's what we use. Alright, so here's our replacements, and you can see we've got a few white faces because the white faces are starting to come through now. There's a really nice one there, over there. Got the calf club calves in here as well. I think Suzanne and the kids have already been in and done their calves. Last night or the night before, I stumbled across another YouTube channel called Dozer the Farmer, another New Zealand one. Go and check him out. Really good. Does really good videos. I think the more people we have doing videos showing how farming is, the better people will understand, because farming doesn't have a very good reputation at the moment. Yeah, well, I think farming's doing good, but yeah, people need to see what's going on farms, so a lot of people don't see it.
I try to pet one.
You're trying to pet them or chase them? Where's your one? Pet your one. Look, he's ready. She's ready for a scratch. Go and give her a scratch. Oh, it's scared of you. Look, what are we doing up here, Anders?
Doing tires on here.
Yeah, we're going to take the tyres off the trailer. It's meant to rain tomorrow, so to get up to this cabin, we can't get up here when it's wet. So it's dry enough at the moment to get these tyres up, so we're going to, this morning, or just after lunch actually, I took a load of dirt to town to church and brought back a load of tyres. So I'll show you what we're doing with them at the top. But yeah, so we're going to load half that load onto the back of the ute here and then take them up the hill.
There's toys. There's the toys, please. Where's the toys? Leave it like this.
Yep, go like that. It should stay there. Where's Anders? Where is he? Where's Anders? Right, you might be able to guess what we're doing with the tyres. We're retaining this bank. I was going to buy timber, but don't really need to go spending all the money on timber because there's actually be quite a bit, and you'd need to use decent strainers into the ground there. So yeah, we're just using tyres, and we'll just set them back, probably, set them back that far, and just keep collapsing the bank into them until it's retained. So I might need like 5 tyres there, 5 or 6 tyres to retain the highest point, but yeah, it gets lower as you go along. So I've been busy over the weekend, a bit on Saturday and a bit on Sunday afternoon. So it's actually ready for the cladding, so we're using corrugated iron on the walls and on the roof. Yeah, so there'll be a window on the end and a window here, and then the door. We're calling it the dock hut because we're trying to make it like a dock hut that's in the bush. The inside, this has got like exposed beams, so we'll put plywood on, and then we're going to put the corrugated iron and insulation on top of that. So yeah, it's coming together. So the next thing is to actually get the corrugated iron on the roof, and then we'll do the walls. So yeah, we've been having fun. The kids come up here, my brother and his kids, so we have quite a bit of fun up here. So yeah, right, just got to unload this last load of tyres, and then that'll be it for the day. So yeah, thanks to everyone who watches. I really enjoy doing these videos. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you somewhere else on the farm. See ya.